Hey everyone, my name is Parker and this is my come out story. I know this is shitty right now, but it's because I'm using someone else's laptop they gave me. So, because my phone's running out of, you know, out of storage. So, we are going to talk about this on my computer and post it that way. Anyways, my name is Parker and I am trans male and pansexual. But we're going to talk about the beginning of me recognizing that I was never straight and never a woman. Okay, so let's start off with when I was 16. Okay. I didn't start recognizing things until I was 16. I was in my room one night and I was questioning myself, you know, because I felt like I liked a girl before. This is before I was trans, so we're gonna do it like this first. I was looking up, am I bisexual or whatever, the quiz that everyone does. Sorry, I don't know what just happened. One of my phones just got a text. When I was 16, I looked up things about it, the test, and also looking up if it was a sin, because the people I was living with, which was my father and my twin at the time, I felt like they were homophobic and transphobic, because I didn't know much about the trans community then until I was like 20 or 21. So yeah, when I was 16, I would look up things like if it was a sin, just bashing myself. Like, I can't come out, especially in a religious, like, with religious people in my family. It's it's crazy because now I'm 24 and I'm out and proud and don't give a fuck what anyone in my family thinks. But the real thing that got me to question it yet again was me listening to a song called "I Wanna Fly" by Trevi Moran, and it was before he came out. She came out. Oh my god, sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Before she came out another time as a trans woman, I would listen to their music before then, and "I Wanna Fly" got me thinking, am I bisexual? Because I like this dude, but I've liked a girl in the past. So, that was the start of that. I wanted to tell my best friend at the time, which was on and off. I was on and off dating this guy, like from 2014 to 2022. But anyways, I wanted to tell him, so I told him by sending him a song, which was the song I just said, "I Wanna Fly," and he didn't get it. So I had to tell him basically, um, yeah, I'm bisexual. He was fine with it, but then wasn't years later, but oh fucking well, right? And then, um, years down the road, in 2020, I started questioning myself even more. Like, I started thinking, am I non-binary? Am I trans? Like, I didn't feel like a woman, to be honest. I mean, look at that. So, when I found out that I was in fact not a woman, and I wanted to at least come out as they them. That's the first. That's the first way I did that. I came out on TikTok about it in a way because like I wanted people to know like that I was going by they them and I was bisexual. Well, that went down the drain because I decided to post it on Facebook and Instagram. I came out to Facebook and all of a sudden I have these comments. Oh my goodness. My brother did not accept me as me and tried to start a fight, I guess, with my ex's cousin and my twins. One of my twins. My twins' best friend. Yeah. So that was fun. So I ended up blocking him that day. And that was in 2021 because I came out to my twin before I came out on TikTok and, Facebook. Which I should have said first. Let's talk about that. I was talking to my ex, which I was dating at the time, about how I wanted to tell my twin that I was bisexual. And I ended up telling my twin, and they were fine with me. They're fine with me being that. Well, I came out, the social media, like I said, it went crazy. Because, by the time it was December, and I knew that I was not a woman, just, I think in a way I knew that I was a trans male, but didn't want to come out as that because the people I was living with are very transphobic and homophobic and told me, which was the fucking mother to the guy, said, in quotes, if I knew you were bisexual, I would not let you in my house. Which is fucking crazy. Hell, why would you do that? But, it got worse in 2022. I mean, whenever, I don't know if it was 2021 at the end of the year or 2022 at the first of the year, but the mom to the ex outed me and told my ex's grandfather that I was bi. I didn't know what to do about me. And also, she said, oh, I looked up Bible verses to see if you were going to hell or not for being bi. And it says, only if you act on it. I'm like, what the? Dude. It's like, what is wrong with you? This is freaking crazy. Like, oh, what? I'm not going to hell for being me, But, whenever, I'm trying to think. Whenever I got my pride flag, they wanted to throw it away. But they couldn't because I bought it and it was my property. But I couldn't hang it up like I do now. Hold on, I hang up my flag now. Proud. When May came around, I gave up. I gave up on being with this dude because he would not listen to me and was listening to his family about how they he shouldn't accept me. He wouldn't call me the name I was going by. I mean, I was going by Asher Rain, by the time I left that house. And they just did not accept that at all. I mean, by the time I said something to him, he's like, please don't leave me. I will call you the name you are. But that's using that tactic on me to make me stay. Manipulation. Manipulation. Okay, I can't really say that word right. It's my brain. I have a learning disability, y'all. But whenever I left that day, I didn't know I wasn't going to go back to that house. Because when I got to work, I got done with work, it was chill kind of that day because I was hanging out with a guy. No, I did not cheat on the guy before you say I cheated on the guy that I was with just because I'm hanging out with the dude. It's not true. But hanging out with one of my best friends, which is a dude, yeah. But whenever I got to his house, we started hanging out, and the guy that I was with, dating, said, like, he called me and was like, are you coming back home? When are you coming back home? Like, saying that type of thing. I told him I was done. And then I get another call, saying, oh, you need to come get your shit. As in kicking me out just because I broke up with a guy that was being disrespectful. But I should have just broke up with him beforehand. But we'll get into that later on. Oh, why I should have broke up with him before then. But I got kicked out of there. I started living with the other guy, and we started dating. Like, what the fuck? The day after, I don't know why I was stupid that way. And then, like, he would call me the name I was, wanting to be, and wouldn't, say the other name, which was great because, I loved that I had someone that would call me Asher and not freaking the other name that I was going by. Not going by, my birth name. But, that ended bad too. And then I had to go start living with my mother. At 22 years old. But it wasn't really her house. I stayed in the car with her for 2 days. And then I moved, went in the house with them, stayed in there for a while. And my mom's just being transphobic, homophobic the whole time. The whole fucking time I was there. And then, months later, I started living in Georgia with my brother. The same one I blocked. Because I needed help I needed someone to help me. In him rescuing me. Yeah. But, I'm sorry I'm saying a lot. I'm not good at talking on a camera. And I say a lot, and I'm sorry. My anxiety's a little bit up right now. I'm trying to remember everything. But I was living with my brother, and he will not call me the name I want to go by either. And I changed my name again, which is Parker now, because I've been going by that name since the end of 2022, and I've loved it since then. But no one in my family, except for one person that I know of, which is my twin, will call me Parker. And off and on, during the time I was living with my brother, I would go by he, they, or he, him. It was off and on because I didn't know at the time what I was. Because I wanted to say I was non-binary, and I was also trans. I was like trans non-binary, and people would be like, what is trans non-binary? That's not real. Yeah, it is. But anyways, um, when I was living with my brother, he would get really mad because there was one time when we went. I think it was Dollywood because yeah, I went to Dollywood once with them, and when we got there, we were having fun time. And all of a sudden, I used my money to buy a knife that says Parker on it. And what does my brother do? He said something under his breath, probably very, very, very transphobic. And no one told me what he said that heard it. And I know my sister-in-law heard it. But it was probably transphobic and homophobic at the same time. But, whenever I'm on TikTok posting things, I get a lot of transphobic and homophobic shit all the time. But it hurts most is when it's your family. I mean, accidentally, my sister-in-law called me Parker in front of my brother. It pissed him off so much. Oh, that I wanted to start laughing and crying at the same time. Because I was like, why can't people just call me the name I go by? Like, it's my name. And I don't give a flying... I need to stop saying the F word so much, sorry. I don't give a flying duck if you don't like it. Or my birth name is the name that's my legal name. I don't care because Parker is what I want to be called. I don't want to be called the other name. And there's lots of reasons for it. And if you don't like it, get out of my life. Seriously. But, yeah. And then, last year, I had to leave his house too. Over stuff. But before that, I met someone that thought that I actually went by that name. And then I finally told this best friend of mine that I'm Parker and I go by he, him. And she accepted me. And I keep forgetting details. Because before that, I met someone else at my McDonald's job. And when I told him, he didn't mind. He doesn't care. He likes me for me. That's 2 friends in Georgia that accepted me. And I have encountered transphobia at McDonald's by a manager when I was working. Because, like, okay, no, I wasn't working at the time, but I got off work. I was like, please don't say this name whenever you get the order. Say Parker. Do not say the other name. Please don't. And all of a sudden, she says the name, and I'm like, I told you not to say that. And she's like, well, I'm not going to do something that you tell me to do. I'm like, you're being very transphobic, is what you're doing right now. I didn't want to say that, but she was. And, whenever I moved to Peoria, Illinois, which was November 29th, 2023, it was crazy. Cause started dating a dude, and then he went to prison, like, in December, back to prison. And when he got out of prison, I hated I didn't want to go back with him in a way, but it's like I loved the dude and I don't know why. I cared about him so much, that I put up with him until the last time I did. But off and on, when either he was in prison or I got kicked out because of him kicking me out about 3 or 4 or 5, maybe 5 times. I was at a shelter called Esther House, and I have reviewed this. Sorry. I reviewed them talking about the shit that happened there. And to be honest, I hated that place. But I met some good friends because I actually had friends that would actually call me Parker and he him. Then you get these people who call you she on purpose. And it pissed me off very much so. And while it was in and out, like at a homeless shelter and his house. While the time I was with him, he was very transphobic and homophobic and even racist. He didn't like who I was, and he didn't like certain people, which is freaked up in a lot of reasons. It's been a very hard journey coming out who I am. It is now November 4th, 2024. And I am trying to accept myself again. It's very hard to come out and tell people who you are when there is a lot of people who are not going to accept who you are just because of their beliefs. And I will say this now. Whatever religion you are, that doesn't give you a right to be homophobic and transphobic. So drop that crap now while you're at it. I was scared to come out at 16 and didn't because I knew my family wouldn't accept who I am. It hurts more when family don't accept you than on the people on the internet. People are not going to accept you, but there is going to be people who do. And that's the people you need to hang on to. If you're having a hard time coming out, don't do it until you're ready. Don't do it when you feel like being forced to come out. Come out when you are ready. Because it is about you and inside you of who you are. Other people are not obligated to know about you that way unless you want them to know. It's scary to be you. But I promise you, when you do come out, you will have a lot of support from people. I promise you. It will be dark at first with transphobic people and homophobic people. But I promise you, at the end of the tunnel, there will be light where there's people who actually love you for who you are. Always be you and ignore the people who don't like you or love you just the way you are. It's been Parker, and I am out. Peace.